Why was it on default where you couldn't hear me? I don't understand why it automatically changes. It should always stay. Anyways, what's up, everybody? Joe from Untitled Games coming at you with another cool live stream back in the Silver Dollar City recreation and Planet Coaster. As it is Monday once again. It's Monday, everybody. How's it going? Happy Monday. How's everyone doing here in the beautiful world? Hopefully pretty good. Hopefully. Alright, let's see. Let's get started by filling in a lot of gaps by doing this. Alright. And we're gonna fill that in, and it will be magnificent, you know. I feel like this blended is supposed to blend in a lot better than what it is. I don't know why. Maybe it's just the time of day. Maybe I'm used to like it being 10 a.m. and it makes a difference. It could be like here's 10 a.m. Oh, maybe not. I guess not. I suppose not. Okay, so usually we've been doing like we've been doing like 1:30 p.m. because I like the lighting in that for this area, anyways. For this, so going into our references for today. Let's go work a little bit more over here. Okay. Okay. So there is a small planter over here. Let's go ahead and get that in there. Why not? Let's do what we need to do to get going over here. So there's a little bit of a planter coming off of this curb here, and we're gonna start off with that. Just go ahead and angle it for the obvious reasons here, because we want it to look good and not like go into the ground, since we are a little bit at an angle at this point. So we're just gonna ease our way into it. Like that. We also need to put a tree in here. There's lots of trees all the time. Okay. Alright, cool. Let's go ahead and put in some the mulch. And that's gonna be pretty much it for this spot right here. Alright, let's do a line to surface. It's pretty bright, so we can use the default mulch, yeah. Mulch. Alright, we'll round it around like so. Make it look good. Now, I think I'm going to throw a staff building or something in here, just because this building is pretty much a break room. Kind of a break room, I think. I've only been in it a couple times, so I can hardly even remember myself. Okay. I wish there was like a skinny, tall tree that we could potentially use. Maybe, you know, we could. There's potential here. We could use this guy. I never thought about using some of these other ones. Like, I don't know, that's pretty tall. That's pretty tall. That might be a little too tall. Is there a shorter version of this Douglas fir tree? Because I'm thinking maybe using a Douglas fir or something along the lines of that. I mean, we could go with something like this, but... And then there's just a bit of bushes going on in there. Nothing too cool, nothing too fancy. Alright, we need to add another wall piece here on this. Okay. That way it's not floating in mid-air, because we don't want anything floating. Nothing to float. And let's go ahead and put in our door here. This doesn't even have steps going onto it, so it's kind of just hanging there. So we'll roll with it, I guess. So let's see. We want... Are these recolorable? They are. Okay, so we'll just recolor this one to the same color as that. Wait, what is this color? We want to save you and change you to that color. I might want to take all this and shrink it down a bit. Is that all? Wait, what's with that? But went to STC on Friday and said hi, nice. I got 12 rides on time traveling, 10 rides on Outlaw. Oh, nice. How am I doing today? I'm doing awesome, nice. Of course. Wait. Oh, it's because I had those selected. I see now. I see what happened there. Let's go ahead and select those too, because that needs to be even with everything else. We're just gonna lower that accident. Another one selected by accident. I don't want to lower the tree, so we're not gonna try and have this tree selected. Why is it so hard? Why are we being difficult? Alright, that's better. Let's go around right there. That'll be good. Okay, let's go ahead and go into toolkit items to make this look a little bit better. We're going to undo that. We're going to get a 2x10 piece, make it a white, and kind of outline this door a little bit, okay? We're just going to do that. Was the park busy this weekend? It was very busy this weekend, yes. It was the busiest it's been in a long time. It's about that time where a lot of fall breaks are gonna start popping up. So yeah, it was busy. Definitely busy this weekend. Saturday was pretty busy. It just kind of sucks when you can only run one train at the ride and you get crazy long lines. So, but there's nothing you can do about it because you don't have the staff to run 2 trains. Yeah, it was a bit unfortunate, but you know, we did make it through it, and that's what counts, I suppose. The employees are still alive somehow. What's up, Variety? How's it going? No, you know, we're gonna say that he's okay right there. Did I do that right? I don't think I put that in the right spot. Hold on. This is supposed to go on the other wall. Oops. This is supposed to go on this wall over here. I put it on the wrong wall. I mean, there might be one there as well. Hold on. Let me see if there's one also there. Apparently takes me. There is a door, but it's not the same. So, yeah, we should move you over here. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna move you. All right, I'm gonna redo this then. I'm gonna redo that, and we're gonna, instead of 2x10, let's go 2x6. Do 2x6 here, and we're just gonna give some accents here. We want the accents to be white, so that's why we're adding these accents by the door, like little edges here. It's not gonna look the best or the most accurate, but that's okay. It's just one door. One door. What's up, Silas? How's it going? Hope you guys are having a wonderful Monday thus far. Okay, back to the doors here. For this door, we can just use something like this, I guess. This is gonna go all the way down here though, because it is that. So boom, boom, boom. It's gonna be that color. We need windows, and let's go. Oh, no, 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 we need small windows. Maybe even smaller if possible. Let's see, what would be the best? I'm thinking these would be the best. These ones shall be the best. Alright, let's go ahead and see if we can center this a little bit I guess it was already centered decently well already, so. Anything with a rounded tap here? Yeah. See if we can go far back enough. No, we can't. How's the back leg though? Could I get away with something like this? Yeah, sure, why not? Actually, let's you know, we might as well keep it turned around if we're gonna do that. Yeah. Yeah. Because why not? Why not? Alright, we have another planter here. Let's get the planter in here if I can get the video to stop without moving when I let off. Because when I let off with my thumb, the video moves either forward or backwards for some reason. There you go. There we go. Now I can see clearly. I see the truth. I see what I have to do in order to succeed in this amazing situation. Yes. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this in here like beautifully. Beautiful. Alright, so this is gonna go out and do this. What days do you work at SDC? Every day. There's no off days. There's no days I get off. That no one gets days off. There's just no way anyone gets a day off. If the park's open, we're there. So we're so understaffed. There's no way anyone gets the day off. We have a 6-day week coming up. Everyone's working 6 days. You know, like for some reason, my supervisor came by and he was like, "You want to work all 6 days?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm going to anyways, because if I say no, you're just gonna call me in." So I'm like, I might as well say yes. There is absolutely no reason to say no there, because you're just gonna call us in anyways. How's my Monday? It's going okay. I actually have not been awake for too long as far as, you know, well, I guess I have been. I slept in, okay? I slept in. I pretty much slept in. But that's okay. I need my beauty sleep. I was so tired last night after work because I was at powder keg all day, which sucks. Do not recommend getting signed off there again. So if I do come back to next year, you know, I don't think I want to work a powder keg. I'm gonna try and avoid getting re-signed over there. Cause that was awful. So I hope everyone's being treated well for all that work. Yeah, I wish. It's been one of the worst years. Dollar just packed on Saturday. Yep, so was SDC. Rides were well staffed. I wish, but food was not. Half the food places were closed. That sounds about like SDC as well. Half the food, we waited 45 minutes for the worst pizza I've ever had on park. Yeah, not good. See, SDC's pizza place, Crossroads Pizza, is really good. I really like the pizza place at Silver City because they make it fresh. Like, they make it, like, you order it and then they make it. Like, that's why it takes a little bit to get your order, but it's definitely worth it because it's actually pretty dang good. Like, it's pretty good. Yeah, I always recommend Crossroads Pizza at Silver City. If you're in the mood for pizza and at Silver City, it's definitely good. Like, the way they cook it's awesome. You don't like operating powder keg? No, it's probably the worst ride. Or maybe not the worst ride to operate, but it sucks. Let me rephrase that. Operating the ride is not bad. I guess it's just the way the people that work there operate it, I hate. Okay. I'll put it that way, to put it nicely. The way it's operated is not my favorite. Oh, it usually has good pizza, just not this weekend. Oh, gotcha. Like, I'm not gonna say too much about SDC, but I just think the management this year is not good. I'm just gonna leave it there, okay? I'm not gonna get into details or anything, because people from work do watch me sometimes, so... So, not putting names or pointing fingers or anything, it hasn't been well operated this year. Just the park in general, in my opinion. There's a lot of stuff I do differently. I don't necessarily blame the park. I kind of blame management. And not like the higher ups. Well, a little bit, because I thought some of the stuff they did was... Like, adding days during October when we're already understaffed was not a good idea. Because we originally were going to be closed on Wednesdays during this month, and they added them earlier this year. They added them, and it's just horrible. And I don't understand the reasoning, because Wednesdays are so slow and dead. I don't get the move, except for greed. You know, it has to be greed. Like, oh, we could make extra money on these days, and I'm like, when every park and except us and maybe Dollywood, I don't know Dollywood's hours, but are literally only open on weekends. No, we're open. We are always open on Wednesdays, every day you can think of. Which is great for the people coming. Like, I don't have an issue with that. Like, for there to be days that can be slow, but it is not good on the workers. It's just horrible. When you have to spend an entire month getting 12 to 14 hour days, 5 to 6 days a week, it is a lot. Paychecks, yeah, they're great, sure, but you don't get any free time. You get these Mondays and Tuesdays, but like they're over with like that. I can tell you that much. They're gone. I guess I gotta adjust these since I moved it up and down. Because you get angry guests that are yelling at you, why aren't you running 2 trains? Why aren't you running multiple trains? It's busy. And it's like, well, we can't. People don't understand it takes more staff to run multiple units on rides. We don't just run the same amount of staff with more units. And I think the main reason is for that is because if you have less staff, you're not going to be able to send the trains out as fast, and you're going to be stacking, and it's going to be just a horrible experience for 2 trains. And, like, when it comes to overall, like, let's take Powder Keg's operations, for example. If you're on unload side, your workload is just way too much because you get a oh gosh, I just hit that. You get a cajillion trailblazers at once. You get the handicapped entrance as well. You have to get them on. And you have to check restraints. You get to do all that. And then if anyone loses their phone or anything like that, you got to take care of all that. You have all that to deal with by yourself with one train. So running 2 trains, it's even worse. Because with 1 train, you get that little bit of break in between trains where you can actually deal with this stuff. 2 trains, you don't get a break in between trains. Like you have to check those bars. You have to constantly pushing people through, and then you're also worrying about trailblazers. You're worrying about getting the handicapped people, or the people using the handicapped entrance on, and all that stuff. You have to worry about all that, and so you have to tell them to save rows for you, stuff like that. This is the reason why I hate powder keg so much. On the way it works, it's just set up horribly. And it's just too much for that load person to deal with. It's just way too much, and it's it can get very, very stressful at times, especially during a lot of the busy parts of the day. Because when you get all those trailblazers, this is what we have to do, and we're stuck with 1 train in powder keg. Powder keg gets the longest line in the entire park throughout the entire day. You can only put 16 per train, and the ride cycle is just under 3 minutes. So it takes a long time just to get 16 people through. It's going to take 3+ minutes to get 3 or 16 people through. And then you have trailblazers coming in that don't allow the line to move at all, because when we do trailblazers, we will load a train with the regular line, and then if we have a lot of trailblazers, we'll load an entire train of trailblazers. So you're getting an extra 3 minutes of the line not moving, and it's just... It's horrible. It just doesn't not work. And if you were to put 2 trains on there with the 1 train staffing, it would be chaos. You would be stacking. You would be stacking. You wouldn't have time. You wouldn't have time to check restraints because you're dealing with all this other stuff. Now, when you have more people with extra trains, you have a person to check restraints, and you have a person to go do the other stuff as well. So it really helps with that efficiency when you have more people there, and I think that's the main reason why we have to have more staff to run multiple trains. Anyways, it's really tough. Again, everyone's understaffed. We had 2 people that usually work at Outlaw, including me and someone else yesterday. Were working at Outlaw Run, or that work at Outlaw Run, that had to help out at Powder Keg because they just don't have. They have like 3 people on their staff, and that's not even enough. That's enough to run 1 train with nobody getting breaks. So yeah, because it usually takes 4 people to run 1 train. Same with Outlaw Run. Outlaw Run's a little bit easier for the simple fact that their Trailblazer gate is on the load side, so we can literally just let them in and through the gate, and they just go where they want. It's a lot simpler. And less thing for us to worry about, and it's on the load side, so the unloader, all they have to worry about is the handicapped entrance, so it's a lot less workload on them. As with Powder Keg, yeah, it's just a mess. And again, that's why I don't really care for Powder Keg operations. And then Powder Keg also groups every single train with their load person, which is fine and all, but they're trying to get full rows as well, and then they have to save seats as well for trailblazers or the handicapped entrance. And when you tell someone you have to hold the first row, and that you're telling someone in line that they can't be on the first row on the next train, they get angry. So you get people getting angry at you no matter what, because people are getting mad that trailblazers are getting in line, and then you have to tell them, well, you can wait 1 cycle if you want the front, or you can just go where I tell you to. I take requests all the time. I don't care if someone has a requested row. I will try to accommodate it as best as I can, but everyone wants the front. Every single person. All the GP want the front. Even though I'm Powder Keg, in my opinion, the front doesn't matter. It's not that big a deal to me. I will ride on any row in Powder Keg. It doesn't matter. I don't prefer any row over the others on Powder Keg. I think it's about the same. I mean, there's a slightly different experience, I guess, in some spots, but like not really at all, to be honest. Some coasters, it's definitely a difference. Like Time Traveler, yeah, you best bet I'm requesting that back row. And I can see why people would want the back. What does that sign say? I don't even think I got a good capture of what the sign says on it. Sandwiches, salads, soups, and pies. Big Jack sandwich board. Okay, we'll get it. Anyways, I'm getting behind on the chat, sorry. I'm your favorite ride operator, even though I've never been to STC. Well, thanks. I'm a mechanic for Six Flags, and the same story over here. 12 to 15 hour days are pretty common, and I often have to cover breaks for ride operators. See, our maintenance crew doesn't even work the ride. They only work on the, like, they only work on mechanic stuff. They don't work on dock or anything. That's not a thing. They don't get signed off with us. Shout out to Mystery Mine Crew. They've been running 6 trains with dual loading and no stacking with 3 operators. I was impressed. See, that one's kind of different because you only have like 8 per train though. So not saying it's gonna not saying that's not impressive, but anyways. Do you have any tips on building houses? Real quick, Variety just donated $1.99. I just wanted to say thanks for the fun streams. Well, I appreciate the $1.99. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate that, Variety. You're awesome. But I have any tips on building houses? Depends on what kind of houses you're talking about. Are you talking like food stands or different stuff like that, or like just buildings in general? I'd imagine you mean just kind of like buildings in general. I mean, there's no like, I don't have any like big tips. The biggest tip I always say is just go find some inspiration for a building that you're about to build. So if you go to a park and you see like a pizza building for pizza, like a pizza restaurant or something. Take some reference photos, and then when you get in Planet Coaster, kind of model it off of that, and try and, almost like a recreation, but kind of make it your own, but you kind of model it, and stuff like that, like fantasy stuff, and Main Street, or shops, exactly. So yeah, just find some of your best inspiration, and kind of get inspired from those. Like doing recreations like I am right now, is definitely definitely helpful in those situations, because you're getting some of that experience with it. So it really helps your skills on building different stuff like that. So basically, when it comes to finding the materials and stuff, it can be a challenge, and sometimes you just got to take your time and find the best thing that fits into it, or you can kind of find something that you think looks good. You don't have to necessarily go based off of what they're doing, or based off of what you see on the building. You can kind of do what you need, but it just all kind of depends. Okay, so we're gonna do something like this. But yeah, just find some inspiration, like some of your favorite parks or something that has the kind of theme you're going for. And then, yeah, I mean, it's always difficult. It's never easy, but sand witches. Hopefully, I have enough room for all this. And on the second one, we're gonna go with salads, and then we got soups and pies. Should be able to fit all this in here, no problem. Soups. And, oh, I wanted to copy. And pies. Okay, so all the text here needs to be Okay, well, we don't want that. We want to change the color of the text. We need kind of like a dark red for all these. It will make sense once we sink it down into there. You wait and see. You ready? Now we're just gonna sink it down like so. Boom. Yeah, it looks fun. So how do you think SDC and Dollywood cinnamon bread compare? Because everyone talks about Dollywood cinnamon bread, but I never hear about SDC. I've had both. Don't tell Gunner, but I can't really tell much of the difference. Everyone says Dollywood's is better. I've had both, and I seriously can't tell the difference. Like, I feel like they're both just as good quality, and they're great, you know? And SDC offers toppings on there, so you can get, like, apple, I think there's a peach one, and right now they have, like, a pumpkin butter one that you can do during the Harvest Festival, and then there's a few others that I think there might be on there, too, but I think they're both great, and I get cinnamon bread every time I go to Dollywood, and at SDC, it's literally right down the road from Outlaw, right by Mystic, so I do sometimes go over there and get some. But most people you'll hear will say Dollywood's is better. I mean, maybe I could tell a difference. Maybe I could tell a difference if I bought both side by side and tried them back and forth. Maybe I could tell the difference, but going to one park to the other, I've never really tasted a difference. Like, maybe if I was to taste them right next to each other, like taste this one and then taste this one, I might be able to, but that's kind of hard because you're gonna have to take some back with the parks being 10.5 hours apart from each other, you know. It's kind of hard because you'd like to try them both when they're fresh, but I wanted to say that I really enjoy your multi-launch coaster series. Thanks. I hope to maybe after today's stream I might work on that tonight as well and maybe get another episode out. So just soft sugary bread, so I figured they were similar. I would say they're definitely similar. Definitely keeps running all of their Harvest Festival exclusive food items by around 3 p.m. every Saturday. I've been there. Kind of sucks. The SDC's, wait, what? Keeps running out. Oh, they keep running out. I mean, I've never seen SDC run out of any. One thing I like to do is go up to Hannah's, the ice cream place on the square at the very top of SDC. I like to go in there and get a pumpkin shake. Oh, so good. I've already had quite a few of them, so I love my pumpkin shakes. I love shakes in general, so I gotta get it. And I love pumpkin. Like, pumpkin is one of my favorites. I absolutely love pumpkin flavored stuff. So, did I spell sandwiches wrong? I did. I accidentally put a T in that. There's not supposed to be a T. I'll fix it. You can't even spell sandwich. Can't even spell sandwich. Of course, I can't fit it on here either. Gosh dang. Alright, let's see. Let's do Big Jacks. Let's just write Big Jacks. If we add a lot of spaces here, that should make it small. Yeah, smaller. How do I fit this in here? Still can't believe I spelled sandwiches wrong right here. I need to get rid of the T. There we go. I could just leave it at Big Jacks for now. Let's be honest, I could just do that. No one will ever notice except for you guys. I went to Kentucky, see they had new cinnamon bread. Oh yeah, I saw that they did get cinnamon bread, and I was like, Hershin, did you seriously? Didn't try it though. Will do next time. It was the worst staffing I've seen this year. only one restaurant open, and I was in the water park. I feel bad for. I want to get out to Kentucky Kingdom because I'd imagine I get in there for free. But I haven't found my way out there yet. Because I've never been. Since Hershon, you know, thought they had the funds to buy a new park, even during a time where they don't have as much money to spend. But you know what? Sure. Let's buy a new park. This is my 2 cents though. I thought it was kind of a questionable move to buy a park at this time. Don't know how much they spent, but still don't think they should have done that. Because a lot of the employees did kind of it kind of fired at Hershon for that. Like, okay, so you can spend all that, but you can't give us better wages, you know? Because we literally barely get paid to begin with, so when they announced that they bought a new park, everyone's just like, really? And they getting all these other upgrades. We got new time clocks, which, I mean, sure, they're nicer, but did we really need those? We got a whole lot. They're upgrading all the new stuff and stuff. Yes, it's nice. Very, very nice, but come on, man. Come on, man. It's like, don't forget about us. We're like, we're the reason why you can even operate. Without us, you got nothing. Bum, 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 bum. Great coasters were operations I've ever seen. That was my impression of Kentucky Kingdom last year. Like, half the employees that were there were visibly slow and don't seem to care. Alright, these should probably need to be actually kind of more centered. They're supposed to be. Ba-dum, bum, ba-dum. What SDC's Christmas was going to be like with the staffing challenges? Probably about the same, you know. You're going to have, like, probably less characters in the parade, and, like, they'll be there, but you won't see as many. For instance, usually they have like 2 candy cane guys. You're probably only gonna see 1, and you know, different things like that. Like, I'd imagine is how it's probably gonna be, if I had to guess. I think I heard Kentucky is probably going to close if nobody bought it. That's what I heard, and that's why they did it. Kentucky wasn't in a good financial situation pre-pandemic, and I understand it correctly. See, that's the thing. Like, I'm not sure how SDC is gonna, or how Hershon's gonna do really well with it. I mean, like, it's already failed multiple times. So, like, what is Hershon gonna do to make that? If they treat it like they do Wild Adventures, you know, and don't give it any love, yeah, it's probably gonna close down. They gotta add stuff to it. They gotta keep it relevant, you know? And if Hershon doesn't do that, then, I mean, it'll probably close again. So, like, hopefully they do something with it, but we'll see. You know, or is it gonna end up like Wild Adventures, which is Hershon's forgotten child, pretty much. No one ever, and you never hear about Wild Adventures ever. No one ever goes there. when it comes to like coaster enthusiasts and stuff. No one goes there. No one knows about it. I didn't even know about it and for the longest time. Like, oh, they own another park? All I knew was SDC and Dollywood. I was like, no one knew about it. Because it's that SDC's Forgotten Child. You know, kind of like Six Flags Forgotten Child is... well, they have multiple Forgotten Childs, but... or Cedar Fair with like Michigan's Adventure and Worlds of Fun and all those other parks that don't get anything. They never get anything new because they only feed their favorite child. And that's how it is. And that's how they treat it. So I don't know how well this is gonna flow together because we're gonna have some accuracy issues when it comes to the pathing here and such, so we'll see. Kentucky Cultural Center, like Dollywood and SDC are to their areas, but they have a lot of work to do if they want that. It's very much like Six Flags Park right now. Yeah. So hopefully they build it up to and do something with it. Because obviously it's probably going to feel like it has been with not many changes the first few years until they finally start figuring out what they want to do with it. Because they got to do like your 5-year plans, 10-year plans, all that fun stuff, and say, okay, what are we going to do with this park? You know, that's what they got to do. You know, they got to figure out what they're going to do with it. Okay, we bought this park. Now what do we do? Are we just gonna leave it be and hope it makes money, or are we gonna actually add stuff to it? You know, make it keep it relevant, and hopefully Hershend will keep it relevant. So hopefully, like when they talk about our other properties at SDC, no one's ever mentioned Kentucky Kingdom at all. Like, at all. They've mentioned Dollywood. And, like, some of the aquariums that they own, but, like... They got rid of their free soft drinks this year. That's the only Hershend change I've seen so far. Yep, it sounds like they're pretty greedy. It sounds like something they would do. I didn't know they had free drinks though. It's pretty sad that Hershend got rid of them. It's kind of like, I don't think you should have done that. Now people are going to be upset. Because there was something good there, and you got rid of it. We might need to rotate this back, because... Let's see where we're at. This is Wagon Works, and the eating area is going to be right here. Yeah, we might need to rotate this a bit more. I think I already rotated some, but it looks like we're going to have to do even more. Which, this is going to be a little bit flexible, so I think we can make it happen. For instance, we're just going to move it over here. Now, the one thing we are going to have to do is adjust our pathing as well in this area. Because obviously, you can see that it is not going to work in the current spot it's in. Because, well, it goes way over. So we're going to have to fix that. I think about right here is pretty good. Again, just pathing is going to have to be a little bit redone here. Is there a path there? Oh, there is. It's like, what is going on? Eee. Okay, and we can always adjust this a little bit later when we need to. Alright, so I just went there yesterday. We were on wildfire 6 times because there was literally no line. Must be nice for wildfire since they have nice high capacity, unlike Outlaw and Powder Keg. Does SDC have the weird bad check policy where you have to put literally everything metal out of your bag and walk through metal detector with your bag? Both Outlaw and Kentucky have it, and it sucked. Yeah, they added metal detectors 2 years ago or so. About 2 years ago, they added metal detectors. SDC used to not even have any of that. No bag checks, no nothing. At first, it was just bag checks, and then they added the metal detectors later. So, and I would say it's about roughly the same experience as Dollywood when it comes to metal detectors and such. As far as I know, it's roughly about the same. So, alright, let's see if we can work on the treehouse. I think I have it in here somewhere. Did I get a shot of it? I want to say I did get some sort of shot. There is some stuff over here. Okay, let's work from over here because I can see what we're dealing with, and that is over here. So this building's gonna continue down. That's actually this spot. Is that spot right there? I gotta make sure I know where I'm at. Okay, this is definitely this, has to be this building. And then there's like some sort of weird building over here, and then you have the tree house. Kind of back over here. And I'm just kind of in the hopes that this all fits in together. I'm just glad that Midtown isn't completely empty now. That we've actually got something in here now at the moment. Alright, this will be simple because it's just kind of like a regular wall with not really any detail in it. So you'll see a lot of buildings at SDC actually have that, which makes my job a little bit easy sometimes. Alright, this is just going to be a darker kind of green. Okay. And we're going to start it at about right over here somewhere. So I would say it's like a gate or building or something like that. I know this pathway is pretty thin, like small when you walk past through here, so we're gonna keep it nice and thin and small. I just copied that, right? Okay. We just wanted to copy it, not like go overboard with it or something. So we don't want that. Good old high capacity B&Ms. Everyone acts like RMCs are perfect, but their capacities, yeah. Capacities kind of suck, especially since they added the seatbelts. Once they added the seatbelts, it cut about 200 to 300 guests an hour when we had to add the seatbelts in 2014. 2013, we were able to hit over 1,000 an hour, and now it's like 600. 700. We can hit 700 to 800 if we're really fast. That's typically hard because then you get the guests that can slow down operations sometimes. So, also rode on Outlaw Run, Time Traveler, Mystic River Falls, and a few others. So you probably did see me at some point. Maybe. If you were there yesterday, I would have been at Powder Keg, but Outlaw Run's my home ride, but yesterday I was at Powder Keg, unfortunately. I would have very much preferred Outlaw to have worked there instead yesterday. Oh gosh. Yeah, we had actually had to hang the chain early at Powder Keg yesterday because we still had like a 20-minute wait with like just under 20 minutes to go, so we had to go in there, and we were there till like 15 after closing, so we still went over. We're like pretty far over because they don't like it when we go too far over. They start calling us and go, "Are you guys done yet?" The line was too long. Exactly. So you probably didn't see me if you didn't ride Powder Keg yesterday, but and of course the line was so long because we could only run one train because of staffing, and that was the only reason I was at Powder Keg yesterday, was because of staffing. Just to keep the ride open. That's why I was over there, so it could be open. Last time Lightning Rod was operating, I timed and calculated around 626 guests an hour, and Lightning Rod was about 754 guests an hour on Fire Chaser, and Fire Chaser only has 14 per train. While the Eagle never has a line, not because it's unpopular, it just eats through people. Exactly, B&Ms are some of the most perfect rides when it comes to capacity. Like, they run through people. Like Wildfire at Silver Dollar City, Wildfire eats people up. So does Thunderation. Thunderation has like 36 per train, or I think it is. Which rides require the most staff? Mystic River Falls, because they have all the towers and stuff. So definitely Mystic River Falls, I would say, is number one, because they just need so much staff. To have staff in the towers, on dock, and all that stuff. They have one of the biggest teams when it comes to that. Places like Grand Expo and Fireman's Landing, those are all one teams, and they rotate to each ride. Most of those rides are only single op rides, but however, those teams are huge. So I don't know if that technically counts. They're huge, but with it being understaffed, they're not as huge. Got front seat on Time Traveler. We went there right as the park opened. It was probably a 30-minute wait by the time we got on. It was insane. You got to do back. Front row is kind of boring on Time Traveler. You got to do the back row. That is the best place. Front seat on Time Traveler is just meh. Always go for the back on Time Traveler. Otherwise, it's not that great. Its water rides are already closed for the season. Ours don't close till after October. asked to remove the staff to coasters. They've closed some for the flats. So yeah, we'll get some staff overall from the water rides, because the people working those are gonna move over to help out at other rides after October. So what's up, James? How's it going? But yeah, our water rides don't close until till November. Once it hits November, they close. So their last day out in operation will be on the 30th of this month. So you're good. Good to hear that you're good. That's always good. It's good. Good. Always good. Start angling you down a little bit here. I really want to get through Midtown here, because I want to get on to more exciting stuff. Midtown's not the most exciting to build in, so. Silver City looks fantastic. Yeah, the park itself is pretty awesome. Pretty fantastic. Gotta head to class now. Talk to you later. Good old differential equations so much. Well, have fun in class. Thanks for joining Variety. We'll see you later. See you soon. Oh my gosh, this is so off-scaled. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. This is not good. I actually don't know how I'm going to do this. This is going to be really off. This path is way too long than where it should be. And the only way I could fix it is if I moved everything on this side of the park over. And that wouldn't be ideal. What's your favorite non-SDC park? Probably Cedar Point or Universal. One of the two. Not sure if I have a decision on which one I would prefer. Good question, though. Thankfully, I get to go back to Universal at the end of the month. Or actually, at the start of next month, technically. Technically. We gotta get around to the ghost trap. Let's see here. Alright, get a shot of this path that leads down over there. Stop moving that. I hate it when it does that. Where's that shot that I just had? Really? You moved it that far back? Stop moving! Come on, you stupid video. I want you to pause right there. When I let my finger off, do not move. That's a really blurry shot, but... do you upload your coasters to the workshop? If so, I may look into adding them to my park for Planet Coaster. Depends on what you're talking about, like specifically. Like my coaster projects that I do, yes. Everything in this park, not yet. But I might. So this part, the park's gonna get uploaded to the workshop when it's done. But as for like the individual coasters, maybe they just use so much terrain that it would be kind of hard to implement into a park. At least for Sword Art City's coasters, anyways. I'm sure you could make it work. You're just gonna have to do some terrain work. But as for the coasters I do, like I have my Intamin multi-launch that I'm working on the channel. I will upload that as soon as it's done, which it is almost done. I also have an mock extreme spinning coaster that's already on the workshop. I did that project before the Intamin one, and it is pretty awesome. So got that one. I think I have a few others on there. Those are the two I'm most proud of, I think, though, because the other ones, if there's any other ones on there, my skills have drastically improved since the other ones. So I think I have a B&M invert on there too. So I was like, on the workshop. I mean, I'm JLW Games on Steam. So if there's are any that you want to go check out, you know, you can. You can. All right, we're gonna try and maybe see if we can manipulate stuff here, and kind of fool people in a way. So we want this to take up as much space as possible, since we have some extra space here by accident. That's the one thing when you make recreations, is sometimes you can mess it up, and if you make a small mess up, like make a spot too short or not long enough, you can come up with some big accuracy issues. And we're kind of seeing a bit of one right here, where this is going to be too long. Like, this building should probably be around right here overall, but we're off by quite a bit. Same with like this over here. This planter right here is a lot shorter in real life, smaller in real life. There's going to be those inaccuracies when you're trying to get everything to come together. Now, the one mistake I did make with this park is probably I should have just gone one spot at a time instead of jumping around. But my build style always ends up jumping around because I have issues with working on one spot for too long. But I've been trying to get away from that, and that's why I've been working so much on Midtown lately, because Midtown is the most incomplete section so far, or it was. Probably not anymore, but yeah. No. Cool. Do you know how steep Outlaw Run is? It feels almost straight down when you're riding it. It's an 81-degree drop, so it's about 9 degrees away from a vertical drop, so 81 degrees. Time Traveler is a 90-degree drop, so it is the steepest ride in the park. But yeah, Outlaw Run is an 81-degree drop at 162 feet tall, so it's the tallest coaster. It's the tallest drop in the park. It's not the tallest in height, but it has the biggest drop out of all the coasters in the park, which is also why it's the fastest, at 68 miles an hour. And 2,937 feet of track in total that you traverse. Wildfire overall drop is not taller. Its drop is about 155 feet. This is a long recreation. Yes, it is. 5 years in the making, and it probably wouldn't have taken that much time if I had worked on it for all that time, because I didn't actually work on it as much as I should have. But recently we've been working on it a lot, so I'm hoping that it will actually get finished up sooner rather than later. Midtown's been taking me a long time. I've been spending multiple weeks on this, and again, when you're only working on it 2 hours at a time, you know, you only get so much done with that, and it's at a slower pace, but at least it is some pace at all, you know. I do need to take some long. I need to work on it a lot more often than I should, because I know people want this to be on the workshop. They want to see the finished product. They want to do all that, and I'm right there with you guys. I'd love to. You know, I have patience issues myself. You know, when people always ask me, how do you stay so patient with these parks? And the answer is I don't. I really don't. Like, I'm just as impatient myself. And the only way I kind of get through it is just take enough breaks and from building and keep going back at it, you know, after a while. You know, it's not easy. Yeah, it will definitely still be going in 2022. I don't think I'll finish it before the end of the year. I still got too much to do. I'm hoping to have a good chunk of it done, though, and obviously the goal would be to have it finished by 2022, sometime next year, hopefully. And yes, I'm working at kind of a snail's pace, but it's more than what I did at some points, so there'd be points where I wouldn't work on it for just months. So the fact that I'm out here actually working on it every single week now, even if it's just a little bit at a time, it's still progress. Progress is progress, you know? Even if it's not a whole lot of progress being done, there's still something being done overall, so I'm not gonna say that it's the most efficient, but, you know, it's something. Okay, so now that we got this planter in place, we want to place it very strategically to where this is going to be the best situation here. What's up, Josh Master? How's it going? Let's go ahead and flatten the surface here. We're gonna do a little bit of a path there. We're gonna try and smooth our way into this. All right, we're gonna smooth our way in. Oh, that is too big. It's still pretty big, but we'll go with it. Going good, and you're doing pretty good. Should do a recreation of the old Celebration City theme park end game. I actually did start on a Celebration City recreation, and I mean, it was, but it wasn't a recreation. It was actually going to be like a new version of it, as if like, basically the idea is that I was gonna take Celebration City and actually redo it a little bit, basically like change up some sections, so if it was to reopen, they would add some new stuff to it. So that's basically what I was gonna do with it. Since the park has been redone, or pretty much all the rides have been ripped out at this point. There's basically not much left in that park. I was doing one, and I actually still have the save of that park, and maybe I will. Maybe I can get back into it, because it wouldn't be too hard. It wasn't a big park. It was a fairly small park, very small park actually, and you know, if I worked on it long enough, I bet I could have definitely finished that. But I mean, I still did a good amount from it. So see, I want you to do more of a curvy thing here, not. Yeah, no, I want you to curve yourself. Really can't fit one in there. Really? We gotta have that big hole? That's kind of a bummer, but. If I would spell it right. Stop moving so much. Right there. Alright, we're going to put it low enough on the ground to where hopefully... Well, we might need to raise it up a little bit. Remember when Fireman's Landing thing was brand new? Yeah, it was 2015 when it opened, so it's not like super old. I remember when it was Geyser Gulch as a kid. Geyser Gulch was fun. I'd say I'd probably prefer Fireman's Landing overall, since it added more rides and such. And we got the launch tower, SNS launch tower with Firefall, which was moved from Celebration City. Some of those rides actually came from Celebration City, so that are in Fireman's Landing, such as Firefall used to be Accelerator at Celebration City, so that used to be at Celebration City. I think Up the Ladder used to be at Celebration City in the little kiddie area, and then I want to say either Fire Wagon Frenzy or the Dizzy Dogs or something, and they just they used the same part. They've used parts from them and actually re-themed them or whatnot, I think. I watched the documentary of the Celebration City. Was there a document? I didn't know there was a documentary on it. Is it on YouTube? Because that'd be awesome. I'd definitely check that out. I didn't know there was a documentary. I do miss that park a lot. It was, I really wish they would have somehow relocated Wildcat to Silver Dollar City or something, because I loved that GCI. That GCI was so good. It was a really fun GCI. So when it got removed, I was pretty sad. I was hoping, after it was sitting there for so many years, I was hoping that maybe they would try to relocate it, or someday someone that bought the property would try and reopen it, because I knew it was just sitting there and rotten, and I would have loved for someone to pick the project back up and reopen it somehow. But then when I saw the news that they were tearing the ride down, I got sad. It was just a fun place just to hang out, with friends. You had Silver Dollar City, but Celebration City was different. Just hanging out with friends was like awesome. That's basically what you did. You just hung out with your best buds out at the park, And I miss it. I miss it. And obviously they kind of competed with themselves with Silver Dollar City, and it didn't go the way they wanted it to. Their idea was that people would spend their day at Silver Dollar City, and Celebration City opened up later in the day, and it was open up late at night. So their idea was that people would go to Silver Dollar City, drive down the road to Celebration City, and spend the rest of the day there. So, but it did not work out the way they wanted it to, and I think they ended up competing with themselves, with the two parks. Obviously, it wasn't as good as Silver Dollar City or anything. It was kind of more of like a small, tiny park that wouldn't say it was like a fair type park, but had a lot of just small rides, a couple small coasters, and then when they opened it at Celebration City, they built, because it was a couple of things before Celebration City, before Herschend actually bought it, and Herschend actually is the ones that built the GCI Ozark Wildcat. So I miss Ozark Wildcat. Such a good. It's still such a good CGI or CGI GCI. I always say CGI sometimes when I try to say GCI. That always happens with me. Alright, there is another small planter that just has like a little tree in it right here. And we're going to exaggerate the size of this thing a little, not by much, but a little bit. Again, we're trying to do a little bit to stretch this path out longer than what it actually is. Because, well, we have to. To get it all to fit together. I don't want to have just like an empty spot, if that makes sense. We don't want to have a huge empty spot. I'm going to try and put the treehouse maybe somewhere right here. Or what's left of the treehouse, I should say. Because, I mean, there's not much left of it. Since they pretty much tore most of it out. Just kind of like the foundation and structure still there, but that's about it. What's up, Unknown Games? How's it going? Welcome to the stream. I still kind of wish there was like a natural curb that someone would make in the workshop for like the Theme Maker's Toolkit. But no one ever did, and it saddens me that no one did, because it would have been nice to have. So I had to try and attempt to make my own, but there's not really a good way of making it, so this was the result. This was the result. Okay, for this, we can do... There's a tree I was thinking of that would work for this. That's a little bit too much. That's too little. We need a good in-between here. Let's go... I mean, the birch tree kind of works. Sure. I should have made that two pieces there. Let's go ahead and edit this, and I tried to make it simpler, but you know. Let's make this one scenery group so I can just move it around freely. Move you around right there. And we're probably gonna have to flow the path around you a little bit. We're just gonna connect you there, connect you down there, and then we're gonna connect you here. I should probably do like the thickest one I can to, if we can, just to fill that in as much as possible. Darn gaps. I might even put some like extra curbs and stuff in there eventually as well, just some extra ones to fill in the paths that don't actually, you know, again, we're trying to be sneaky a little bit. That's the goal here. All right, it's not gonna let me smooth that out, is it? Nope. Oops. Gosh dang it, my intensity is all the way up. We don't want the intensity all the way up. I did not think about doing that with gaps. Yeah, it's not the most perfect thing because they're not the exact same texture, but you know, if you're not looking too closely, it kind of works. There's also some path covers that you can use. I might use some of those on some of the flatter sections. There are some like path covers that are actually not even Theme Maker's Toolkit item. These guys right here, they made some covers, and these are actually pretty darn good. Like, they have one for each path, and I think this is the one for this one. Is it this one? No. It might be. But it does a good job. They did a good job with this one. It might, I think it's this one. Nope, not that one. This one. I can't tell. But Very, very useful, because I've used it on some of my other spots over here that I can't use that terrain tool with, like over here. Yes, I have path covers over here. It's this one right, you can kind of see them if you look really closely right here. You see that? I covered up some green spots with those. And they work really well, especially when you're zoomed out, you can't even hardly see them. Very, very useful. But it's in the workshop. Called path fillers. Just type path fillers and you should find it. I think our mail's here. I think I got packages. Got packages, guys. I don't know. Jess must have bought something because I didn't buy anything. I wonder what Jess bought. She bought something. Oh yeah, path fillers. Anywho. Okay, let's see. I wish I would have got a better shots of the Treehouse area. I did get some tiny shots of it, but not like any big shots of it. Alright, let's see how far off we are here. You know what? We might not be as far off as I was originally thinking. Well, maybe we are. I think we are, but not as bad as I was thinking. Oops. There are some more planters right here. And this just might need to be a big path just coming down here. Oops, no, don't delete that. Like since then, they've actually blocked this path off, so you can't walk down there anymore. I don't know why they did, but they did. I thought it was kind of a weird decision, but whatever. Whatever floats their boat, I guess. I don't know if someone fell or something and then they decided to get rid of it or what happened there, but something happened to where they decided, no, we're going to block that path off. Am I on an autosave? What's going on? I don't know why my frames just are dropping a ton right now. Oh, now we're back to normal. That was a weird frame rate dip there. And we're in autosave. The blueprint I use for that path cover is called path fillers. There might be more than one on the workshop, so there could be better ones. This one, the one that I use was is kind of an older one, so maybe there might be newer ones. Just probably try some out and see which ones you like the best. If there's, you know, because there could be better ones out there by now. Because not all of them work the greatest on this one, but some of them are actually pretty close, like the whatever the name of it is. I don't even know the name of it. The gravel one, or the what is the name? Is it gravel? Not gravel, is it? This one right here. This one. So I think that one, the one that uses for that, it's actually really, really good. Freaking hate autosave. I wish it didn't like completely spaz the game out on large parks. It doesn't do it on like small parks, but on large parks, just like it likes to die. Okay. It just likes to die. Still at 1 frame a second, just waiting for that to finish. And yeah, it's done. Okay. Yeah, it is gravel. Rustic gravel. That's what it's called. Rustic gravel. Alright, I was hoping to get started on the treehouse here, but let me see if I have any good shots that I can use, because does not look like I got any good shots of it. Which I don't understand why I wouldn't. That's a good shot right there of going down there. There are blueprints for the fences and buildings. Most of the fences I made myself. Most of the fencing was for me. There are some like there are some Theme Maker's Toolkit fences, I guess, that I do use. I mean, I would honestly just go into the workshop and find whatever you want. Just go to the Theme Maker's and just click Theme Maker's Toolkit and find which ones you want. One of my favorite ones is the safety fence right here. This is a really nice one I use a lot. Then there's some Q poles. These ones are really good if you want to make some like generic realistic Q lines. I use those a lot. There's different parts here. So you have like a connector piece, you have a longer poles, and you can use them for other things too. There's also some coaster nets as well. Here's a fancy gate. Yeah, and then I usually get some chain links too, if I want to use like chains on like my queue lines and stuff. And then of course you have the Mystic River Falls sign, which is also on the workshop. Very, very good workshop item, of course. It was specifically made for Darren. For some reason, it's called 100 times. So, I guess I'll have to search 100 times. I don't know why it's labeled that. If you type in Mystic River Falls, you might be able to find it. If not, then type 100 times and see if it comes up. It's still on there. For a while, I thought it was gone from the workshop, but then it's on there, so, again, so. And it's also recolorable, so, which is also nice. It is nice. But yeah, just go on the Theme Maker's Toolkit, whatever you want to look up, you know, just type it in and, you know. How did I recreate the lift for it? So you have to, this is all scenery right here. So I just used like some framework scenery, some building work, and some art shapes for the poles and stuff. Again, and these pieces were just like that. I think it's like the arrow suspended coaster supports that you can use that I used for those. And then for the functionality of it, as you can see, there is a vertical conveyor belt lift in there just to get the rafts up there. So functionality that it can get up here and actually work. But visually, I wanted to make it look like the tower is what it uses. But you have to have the Planet Coaster track limit mod where it disables all the track limits and stuff. So to make that work, with the track limit mod, it gets rid of all limits, and what is going on right here? That was weird. You get the track limit mod, it eliminates all the track limits for any tracked rides, and you can have super short segments too. So you can like make super short track pieces with the limit mod as well. And you can also use any coaster trains on anything, so you can swap the trains with any coaster type you want. Some of them are buggy, so you do have to be careful. Some of them won't work, it will crash the game. But for instance, for the werewolf here, with the mod you can see that I can make my track pieces all the way down to like 1 meter. It's crazy. So that's very useful for a lot of the track pieces. And then if you see, if I go to customize, I have all these options to change on here. I could put any coaster train I want, even if it doesn't make sense. So if I wanted to put the like one that wouldn't be usually available on here on the Werewolf, it would be the Canyon Runner or the Boa, which I think is the suspended one. This is the one that's kind of glitchy. If you use a suspended coaster or an inverted coaster, it puts it underneath like that. It doesn't put it upside down like you would think it would. So I could put, like, again, Cloud Runner, which would be... But again, some of them aren't going to work properly because, well, you know, it goes through the track. But you wouldn't really need to do this because the Cloud Runner could work. You just get the wing coasters and everything, and it works just fine. And the other cool thing is you can add lifts and launches to anything. So... For instance, this coaster doesn't usually have a... Well, I guess it does. Doesn't usually have... any coasters that doesn't usually have like a launch, you can actually put a launch on it. However, on the coasters that don't usually launch, say the RMC here, that doesn't usually have a launch, when you do a launch, it is going to be an invisible track. And to work around that, I usually just retrace the invisible track with plain track and then add some scenery items to make it look like a launch. So if you wanted to do like a launched RMC or something, you know, it works. How do I get all the queue lines and fences and buildings and all the lights from the toolkit? As long as you're on PC, if you're on console, you are out of luck because you do not get any toolkit items. I should have clarified that. If you're on console, you do not get toolkit items. You only get blueprints that are inside the game, and it is a separate workshop from the PC. So they're separate workshops. So yeah. So hopefully, if you're on PC, you just go to the Steam Workshop and do your Theme Maker's Toolkit items. You can go into your filters and do Theme Maker's Toolkit items only, and then type in what you're looking for. Again, if you are on the console edition, I should have clarified beforehand, but if you're on the console edition, unfortunately, toolkit items are not on the console edition, so you're stuck with all the in-game stuff. Which I do wish they kind of would transfer the PC toolkit items into the console edition, so console edition players could have the opportunity to at least download the toolkit items that were made. Unfortunately, it's not an option, but it could just be a console thing where the console edition probably couldn't handle such a thing. So I've only played the console edition a handful of times because I only had it to see how it was, and I bought it just to see how it was, and I also would have it on console, I guess, and I got the disc version, so it's kind of like a collectible thing for me, I guess. So I got it for PlayStation 5, but yeah. Wildfire Operator, for the morning at least, always said bye-bye. It was always funny. They always do that, or there's a worker at a powder keg that always says, "Have a dynamite ride, bye." I think it's funny, sometimes I will do other spiels for other rides sometimes. So like powder keg, there's they usually say keep your hands down, arms down, head back, and enjoy the ride. I'll sometimes say it at Outlaw Run, and I'll even say like have a dynamite ride. And I hope you enjoyed your ride on Buzzsaw Falls, or the Lost River of the Ozarks. Just saying, you know, it's funny. It's hilarious. Because sometimes the GP don't even understand, and they actually think that I'm talking about the real ride. So, or they think that that's the name of the ride sometimes. All right, I am going to see if I captured anything. There's a spot right there. Right there. Where I can kind of see the lone structure of it. And I don't know where this building, this green building ends. I'm going to have to get more references for that. Or another reference to figure that out. Yeah, this is way too long, unfortunately, but just one more thing I do need to get reference photo wise just over here in general, so I think I'm gonna just have to get that for next week's is go down here and get a nice shot of it. I could kind of try and start on it because I have to look through the trees on the shot that I got here, so but we'll see. Oh, that's probably copyrighted. Stay away from that. Still one of my proudest recreations. Outlaw Run. Oh, I need to put the wasps up here for October. We got a ton of wasps on our lift hill right now. Always this time of year, they like to fly around our speakers. That's kind of how it is on most of the coasters. Wasps hang out up there. The 153-degree outside bank turn. And then my favorite section, just visually, is the wave turn with the custom supports I did there and the shaping. And of course the perfect heart lining barrel roll. Here at Silver Dollar City, the good guys always win. Custom lift audio, custom brake run audio, custom announcements from the actual ride.
Just push up on that safety bar, unbuckle your seatbelts, and watch your step as you exit to your right.
And I got the actual soundtrack playing and everything.
In the station. Thank you for heading out west on Outlaw Run. Keep a lookout for those outlaws and enjoy the rest of your day here at Silver Dollar City.
I got the clock audio up here.
Welcome, pioneers. Y'all need to stow all loose articles.
Are all the clocks set? Folks count on us to be punctual.
Keys and change. Watch your step as you board the stagecoach. When you're all comfy in your seat with your feet on the floor and your back against the seat back, go ahead and buckle your
Therefore, he does not exist.
you know when to pull down your
Oh, this song's not copyrighted. I can hear this one. It's actually one of my favorite. It's actually one of the original songs. Ba-dum bum ba-dum bum bum ba-dum bum ba-dum bum ba-dum bum ba-dum bum 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 ba-dum bum ba-dum bum bum ba-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na bum 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 ba-dum bum 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 dun dun Dun, 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 dun. Bum 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 ba da dum bum bum dun dun na 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 bum ba da da dum ba dum bum ba da 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 dum ba ba da dum ba ba da dum bam ba dum ba dum ba dum ba dum ba dum bum ba da da dum da 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 ba bum 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 dun bum. It's like the original song of Outlaw, pretty much. Alright, the rest is copyrighted, so I can't. Those are all like classic Western movies from like Western movies and stuff, and it's probably copyrighted. But yeah, these custom supports I'm so proud of. Look at those. And that shaping on that wave turn. Mwah. 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 If I had a concert, totally. I would, you could totally pay for them. These are all custom too. At night, that actually flashes at the, where the camera is. This is our gift shop, kind of. What I did do with it. Got fire in the hole! Too bad people don't actually write it in game. I mean, there's a couple people that do. But its rating is really low. Because it's only has a couple drops. And which makes its prestige really, really low, unfortunately. Fire in the mountain, fire in the hole. You come back in here and put on your pants. And of course you got powder keg. Run, boys, run, don't be slow. Fire in the mountain, fire in the hole. Run, boys, run, don't be slow. Fire in the mountain, fire in the hole. And feet inside the train at all times. Hey, that area is restricted. You smell smoke? I will say, Powder Keg does have some really good floater airtime on these first two hills. This hill right here, you're just levitating. It's amazing. I will say it's underrated for its airtime in some spots. Switch over to the Buzzsaw Falls track right here. Still proud of how I did that. It actually turned out pretty good. Custom lift audio, as usual. And the final helix at the end. That's a good head chopper at the end too. It's pretty close. Silver Dollar Saloon. Of course, we can't forget Time Traveler. Got the ding dongs as it dispatches. Got the Time Traveler soundtrack. And the iconic ticking at the entrance. Flooded mine. Ba-dum, ba-dum. Bum, ba-dum, ba-dum. Sweat a little water. You'll sweat a little. Oh, I gotta put on all the construction going on behind Fireman's now. Since that's happening. Of course, that'll probably be done by the time I finally freaking get this whole thing done. I do plan on updating it if the park does, like, changes, of course. I'll update it and make the changes in here too. So I remember when Time Traveler was being built, so I worked at Time Traveler the year it opened, and you got used to the ticking. Like, I didn't care for I didn't mind it. A lot of people did, but not me. Cause I'm a nerd. So, yeah. I'm a big, fat nerd. Of course it'd be the train we're not on. Custom lift audio on Wildfire as well. Since 2013. I started on Outlaw Run when it opened. I still need to do the custom supports here on Wildfire. Maybe I should make those trims actually do something, because it's going actually faster than what it usually does since I made that change. I might actually need to increase those trims and actually have them do a little bit more, because we'll raise the deceleration rate a little bit to 3 and see if that helps. It's still playing the audio. I wanted these shorter because they're really small little pieces, so. Run, boys, run. Don't be slow. Bomber's coming. There's a fire in the hole. Of course, with this change, we're gonna have to, of course, put curbs in. I'm gonna wait till I get all of it done, though, because we don't want to, just in case we adjust it again, you know. So we'll just wait on that. Used to be terrified of fire in the hole. I mean, it does have the most terrifying theme. Literally guys in scary masks burning down an entire town. And its theme is literally like the darkest thing ever. Run, boys, run. Don't be slow. Ball numbers coming. There's fire in the hole. Grab your children and don't be slow. Ball numbers coming in the hole. Oh, mom's coming in, it won't be long. Fire in the mountain, won't be cold. Fire in the mountain, fire in the hole. Fire in the mountain, fire in the hole. Come here, daughter, come here, son. Ball numbers coming, everybody run. Grab your fiddle, forget your bow. No time now for Cotton Eye Joe. Run, boys, run, don't be slow. Fire in the mountain, fire in the hole. Has anybody else gotten Windows 11 yet, since it's out now? I installed it. I'm enjoying it so far. I mean, it's not a whole lot different, but there's a couple things where I'm just like, wait, where did this go? It's different. But for the most part, it's been fine. Haven't seen any really performance differences overall either. It feels smoother, like when moving your windows around and stuff and snapping them. It's a little bit smoother now, so it's pretty nice. I went ahead and upgraded because I think Windows 10 is only going to be supported for till like 2025, so might as well get ahead of it. Don't be slow, mountain, fire in the hole. Mountain, fire in the hole. Flames and horses all over town, thundering and hooves and jarring the ground. None of need us hanging around. All our homes are ashes now. On the mountain, fire in the hole. Fire in the mountain, fire in the hole. Fire in the mountain, fire in the hole. Fire in the mountain, fire in the hole. Yep. Also got the train. How far off is it? Oh, yeah, it's pretty far. It is pretty far off. Well, I need to figure out, I'm thinking about doing a different way to get that to work properly. It might be a big project, but, well, I want the train to work right. But it's alright, we'll get it. Watched Taylor's documentary, and now I plan to build a park in real life to have a raptor. Yeah, I watched the documentary as soon as it went live on the 8th, so I watched it as well. It was really awesome. I loved it a lot. I love the end credit animations. He actually posted the lyric video for the credits, and it actually has the animations on there. So, which is pretty cool. So I can watch those anytime now. I actually bought the documentary, so I could watch it as many times as I wanted to. It was really, really good. And I'm actually in it for like probably like 2 or 3 seconds. And you wouldn't even know because my face isn't in it. It's just me, my legs, walking down the line of the train of Outlaw Run. And I remember when Taylor was there recording for that, and he was doing a lot of interviews at the park and everything. Brad Thomas, and there's a few others that actually didn't even make it into the documentary. So But yeah, he told me, he's like, hey, do you want to come over here real quick and can I get a shot of you just walking down the train? And I was like, sure. So my legs walking down the train made it into the documentary, and he actually put it in. So I actually put that shot in. So just in case you guys, if you guys do watch the RMC documentary, this is how we roll. I'm in it, kind of. Part of me is in it. There's not really hardly any operators actually in there, so I feel pretty special that I was able to get into the documentary somehow. It was pretty cool though. We were actually closed at that time because we were closed for lightning. It was actually a really nasty day that day. That day he was there. He was there for a couple days, but he was recording it, and he's like, "I'll just put this in the sad part of the video or the documentary." That's when I actually first heard about the documentary. I probably knew about it before he even said anything about it, because that was over a year ago when he recorded that footage at Outlaw. So I don't know when he actually announced the documentary was happening, but that's when I figured out about it, because Taylor was there getting footage of Outlaw and Outlaw Run, and I was like, oh, I wonder what he's doing. And then he was going on about that it's for an RMC documentary, so I was like, oh, this is cool. He's going to do an RMC documentary. And that's how I figured out about it, so which is pretty cool. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and save the project here. I'm going to be done for now. For now. I love the part of the documentary where Fred Grubb was just like, yeah, I think I'm going to build a raptor in my backyard just for fun. And I'm just like, I wish I could do that. I'll take one. We'll build a raptor in my yard. Doesn't even have to be big. I'll build just a small one. I keep bringing up the idea of wanting to build a backyard roller coaster, but Jesse keeps telling me no. And I know you guys would be supportive of me, right? Actually followed up Closed for the Storm, Six Flags New Orleans. I've seen a couple of Six Flags New Orleans documentaries. I love watching the coaster documentaries. If you guys haven't seen it, Devin Olson does some really cool documentaries. He did one on Outlaw Run. He's done one on Time Traveler, Gatekeeper at Cedar Point, Fury 325, Lightning Rod. He's done a few, and they're actually really good and very underappreciated. They only get a few thousand views. And I'm geez, I feel like people should see these because the cinematography and it's done very, very well. And they're very short documentaries. They're only 20 or less minutes. So I think the Outlaw Run one's only 14 minutes or something like that. 14 to 16 minutes. It's actually a really good documentary. So Devin Olson's really good. I remember when he was recording. I'm actually in the Time Traveler one that he did too. The back, he's got a shot of the back of me dispatching the train, which was really cool. Because I remember when he was there doing all his recordings and stuff and getting his interviews for his documentary. So I still can't believe those don't get that many views. It's insane. Insane that he doesn't get hardly any views on those. I hate these saves. They take forever. Forever. I still can't believe I sometimes get 40 frames a second on this park. It's just insane. Can you believe that I still get 40 frames a second on this park? I mean, then again, I have a 5900X and a 3080 Ti graphics card, so I would hope that I get some solid frame rates. Oh, I think it's done. Alright, I'm going to exit to the menu. I think we're done with SDC for now. I really want to do another story park. I don't know if any of you guys were here for when I did Golden Valley, but it was kind of a story park where I basically just go through a park and like did some fun like teasing of what I was building for the following season and stuff like that, kind of like a real park, but it was kind of real time. And there's this Loki project, which you might have seen right there. Ooh. That's some fun stuff. There's my mock extreme spinning coaster. That turned out pretty cool. I wouldn't say it's my favorite that I've ever built, but still pretty cool. And then, of course, there's Oberon, which is turning out pretty awesome. Of course, I have a scenario version that is the full version. But I think that's gonna do it for now. I'm thinking about potentially live streaming later, so but for Planet Coaster for now, that might be it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know I haven't been streaming as long as I would want to, but my goal is to get a little bit done of Silver City every week, so maybe eventually we can get that finished. But I need more references of the next part that I want to work on, so we'll get more references, and we'll be back to it next week. So but yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you guys have a great day and cooler tomorrow. Thanks for joining. You guys are the best. So I do have affiliate links down below if you haven't checked those out. If you're interested in any of the equipment that I use for live streaming or videos, like my microphone, mouse, keyboard, any of the stuff that I use, be sure to check out the links down below, because I have all those links to some Amazon links where you can actually purchase those if you would like to. So yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed, and have a great day. Cooler tomorrow, guys. I'll see you guys in the next live stream or video. Thanks, and goodbye.